him, he was already kind of having some success with making it, but he, I guess, wanted rap more, and it just comes across just a tad bit spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know that's listening, he had a big career on Degrassi. As an actor, I think I don't know if he's still on the show now, but I know if he's not, he just recently got off. I mean, and even like you touched on like upbringing. I mean, the cat definitely comes from a very, very nice home. I think you have to factor in even because he's from the T-Dot. He's from Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, so if you look at that, I mean, just a different, North American experience too. You're right. I mean, there's some very good points you brought up there. To me, what I find ironic is like, a cat like Cardinal Official, who's been in the game for a while, and from the same area as him, just never really got caught on. And I always was a big fan of Cardinal Official as a lyricist and somebody that kind of was like one of the first people to rep, up north as far as the T-Dot. But Drake, do you think maybe what it was that he just, I don't know, but do you think he oversaturated himself too soon? Because he really had a great buzz about him. And then it just, I don't know, it kind of fizzled, like you said.
I think he just needs to show some new tricks, that's all, because there's just a lot there where it's like when I first heard him, I was like, he sounds a lot like Kanye.
Yeah.
But then when I hear Kanye's recent verses, I'm like, no, Kanye's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's separating those two. And then you hear him on a song with Eminem and Lil Wayne, and Eminem's verse is nuts.
Yeah.
And you like hear this dude go again talking about his struggle of getting on, and all I could see is him skipping across the damn stage and pulling his ACL, like
he went there.
This is not VGO.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to vibe with you, but I'm almost not feeling you now.
Yeah, you really want to pull for it, like when he first got it, like because it's not even just him. You want it for hip hop's sake, not just for Drake's sake. So everybody really was like the streets was really pulling for him. I would definitely say he owned the game. Let's say maybe March, April, May, and then over the summer. I think it happened at the BET Awards. I think that performance he did with Wayne and Young Money, and also with Wayne's little daughters on the stage. I thought that was the beginning of the end for Drake.
Oh, definitely with the footstool or whatever.
Yeah, going ACL. It was just the beginning of the end right there for him. It ain't never been right since then. Yo, Megan, let me ask you this. No, I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
No problem. Go ahead.
What I wanted to ask you is this. This is something I couldn't wait to ask you when you got on the show. All right, so we see what's happening. I feel like hip hop as an industry has kind of come full circle, and I'll explain what I mean. Like now, like you said, as far as the numbers game, as far as moving units, it's not what it used to be, and quite frankly, it never will be. Artists will never be able to move units like they did before. But the flip side to it, and I really want your opinion on this, is I kind of feel like, in a strange way, hip-hop has an opportunity to go back to an era it was before the industry was just saturated by the major labels, by the big five, where the eras of the Tommy Boys and the eras of the Flavor Unit records, where, because cats have the ability now to control the destiny of their own product, whether it be, through social networking now, MySpace, Facebook, just the ability of, the digital revolution where everybody has access to studios and you can build your own fan base. What do you think about that? Do you think like this can actually maybe be a blessing in disguise for hip-hop to maybe get back to some of the pure elements of what made hip-hop great, when we came up listening to hip-hop some 20 years ago?
Yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the things I, frequently talk about, because I always try to compare hip-hop to other genres of music, and it's happened with other genres of music, including jazz and rock, and to a certain extent heavy metal, where you had this pure form when it was underground and and that certain group of listeners loved it and got into it, from the dress to the videos and everything, and then they have that blow up point where everything blows up. Like for us, it probably was around the Bad Boy era and the Jay-Z era, where everybody was doing crazy numbers and getting money. And now you know, it got oversaturated and there's a lot of clones. And now, you know, people just start to recognize, you know, we know what we want. You know, with a recession, can't buy every CD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've seen every trick the marketing departments have as far as the ringtone artists. So we know when we being bamboozled, like, no, I'm going to download that for my phone. That's it. You know, no album purchase. But, I agree. I think it is a blessing in disguise because it does open up a lot of things. But my only concern is with rappers still to this day, and I don't see this when I'm around, like, the jazz artists, that I feel like the same thing is happening.
Okay.
A lot of these rappers will always say, including the Jay-Z's all the way down to the lowest level dude, you know, I'm taking it back to this, or, you know, I'm trying to make my music more organic and stuff like that. But that stuff is lip service because a lot of times these dudes want to get paid.
Yeah.
Period. And I understand they want to get paid, but they want to, you know, be filthy rich and go diamond and stuff like that. And they're starting to lose the artistry.
And stuff, yeah.
Like, that's one of the things I give Nas a little bit of credit for is, you know, for him to have this attention or whatever and his status in the hip-hop game and even on a commercial level and still do things that he feels like he has to do as an artist. You know, I give him credit for that. Now, the beats, nah, I can't give him no credit for rapping over some whack-ass beats. But, you know, as far as him being an artist, yeah, and when I don't deal personally with the jazz artists at the station because that's not what I do, but just talking to them when they come up and do shows and stuff like that, they're making way less money. And they still are all about the art. You know, they would love to check, but they're still all about the art, the creation, bringing up, you know, making sure they incorporate the originators of jazz into their style of music as long as being fans of hip-hop. And when you listen to some of their albums, it's a nice blend, and you can tell this is a new form of jazz, you know, for this age, for this generation that's coming up, you know. With hip-hop, it's not like that. I feel like a lot of dudes is just trying to find a way to win. But there's a lot of dudes on a lower level that have that artistry, but, you know, we'll see when they have an album out. Jay Electronica is one of them.
Oh, wow. Good read on that one right there. We can't let you go without asking you a question. That's a good segue. I mean, you're an artist as well, too. In this whole landscape of what's going on right now, where's your vision as far as your artistry? Like, where do you want to take, you know, the game as an artist yourself, and what's missing, and, you know, where do you see your place in it as an artist?
Well, me personally, I mean, I have my opportunities as far as, like, an artist to do something bigger. But for me, it was more about stability, you know what I'm saying? And especially at that point where I had my opportunities, you know, I didn't like the game from the business side, and it was too much of a gamble, and, you know, I didn't have my degree yet, so I was like, I need something to fall back on. And for me, it just became what it always was, where I did it for the love.
For the love.
So, like, I'll make albums and, you know, I'll go in like this is a song to be on the radio, and I'll do my little promotions. But for me, it's all about making what I like to hear, and, you know, hopefully if other people like it, that's all good. But, you know, I don't push it on nobody or, buy my CD, listen to my CD. My music is always free.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing about that, like with that question, because I have a lot of friends who record also, and, you know, sometimes they look at me like, oh, you have connects and you just kind of wasting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be on, you could be out there, but for me, that's not my concern. It is whether or not who hears me or whether or not I'm out there.
Okay.
Because I know their concern is more, it's about money. And that's what I was talking about. A lot of artists aren't really about the artistry of hip-hop and, you know, just wowing people. I like to see people's reaction. I mean, even if you don't like my music or if you misunderstood something. And that's what it's about, and that's kind of like where hip-hop politics is all about is